someone who has reproductive organs, and I believe, sharing the struggles that women have went through, that is what defines a woman.
All right, what about you?
One of two genders in the Homo sapiens species.
Okay, what about you?
Oh, you caught me off guard.
Here, just
a
focus
female.
on the convo. Don't be
Female
reading.
is a female, and a male is male. That's it.
A female is a female?
Yeah,
so
and a male.
woman
and
is a female?
Yes.
Okay, what about you?
To me, a woman could be a mother. It could be truly anyone, but like a woman, to me, it's a mother.
Well,
Well,
not all women have children.
well, children. I don't really know. Like,
Okay, what about you? What is a woman?
A woman is one of two genders. You're either born male or you're born female. And if you're born female, you're a woman.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, a woman is one of two genders, female. She has a uterus and gives birth
Okay.
to human being.
All right, what about you?
I would say the same as the last two.
Okay. I think a woman is an adult human female. So a woman is just somebody who identifies. So if I identified as a woman right now, I would be a woman?
I think that if it was true to yourself, if you genuinely believed that, sure. I think that if you right now were to say it in order to try and make a point, none of us know your intentions truthfully internally. So if someone identifies as a woman, I'll always treat them as such because I would much rather, the amount of LGBTQ people, but specifically transgender people who have mental health issues, who face discrimination, who kill themselves is, so disproportionate from straight people. And I personally would never run that risk. If someone tells me they're a woman, then I am treating them as such. If that's not true to themselves, then it is their morality on the line. It is their, they're the ones betraying themselves.
So we should affirm people's identity?
Yes.
Okay. So my identity happens to be, and it would cause severe mental harm to me if you denied my identity. I believe I'm the right person on this issue. Like, I believe I'm correct. I would like you to affirm my identity as the correct person on this issue.
Would you mind if we could quickly define identity? Because I think we have different definitions.
Just the way in which I identify. What's your definition, though?
An identity is something fundamental to who you are, a building block of your character, not your stance on an argument.
Well, this is fundamental to who I am, that I'm correct on
your
every
stance
single thing.
on this argument?
It's fundamental to who I am, that I am correct on every single thing I say. Nobody else can defy this. I am 100% right on every single thing, and I would like you to affirm my identity as the correct person on this issue and all issues.
We clearly have different understandings of what an identity is, and that's all right.
What do you mean? That's how I identify, as the correct person.
See, it's a fun argument to make because, it makes transgender people sound so insane when you compare them to something like that. But that's not the claim that they're making. No one is sitting there, taking extremes like that and just trying to, be unreasonable. People just identify with different genders.
You're saying we should do this because if we don't do this, it would harm them.
No, I'm saying that, I personally, the way that I like to go through my life, and I'm not saying anyone else has to live like this, but if something isn't causing harm to me or anyone else and it makes that person feel comfortable, I am always going to align with it.
Well, how about this? All conservative people feel very strongly about their political positions.
Yes, and I believe that is harming other people.
Well, hold on.
Yes.
But it causes harm to conservative people when people disagree with their identity as a conservative person.
Sure.
And they don't get their political will. Laws are passed that are in contravention of their desires and their wants. And sometimes it creates economic harm. It can even, going against certain political wills of conservative people will, you allow certain, say, you're not going to like this argument, but allowing unfettered illegal immigration, like not all illegal immigrants are violent criminals, but some of them are, and this will allow people into the country who will either sexually assault women, or just kill people, whether man, woman, female, whatever. This does create harm, and you not affirming my identity as correct, for example, on the immigration issue, actually causes palpable harm, and I would like you to align with my political ideology.
I see where your misunderstanding is. My goal is
There's no
not
misunderstanding.
my goal is not harm reduction.
I would like you to affirm my position and my political identity as it relates to illegal immigration, because I believe illegal immigration causes harm.
Yes, my goal here is not to make you feel comfortable at all costs. As I said in my initial
But
claim,
it causes me harm.
sure, that's fine. In my initial
so
claim,
causing harm is okay.
in my initial claim, if someone's identity is explicitly not causing harm to me or others, as I said, then I will affirm it because it doesn't matter. That, in my opinion, is causing harm, so I will not affirm it for your sake. I don't.
Okay, so hold on. But in all circumstances, must we affirm somebody's if somebody's transgender, must we affirm?
Well, as I said, I don't think everyone needs to go through life the way that I do. I personally will because
But can I ask you, if it causes harm to the transgender individual to bar them from playing in women's sports,
Ooh, I was waiting for it.
well, I think it's fair to say that transgender individuals can experience that same level of harm if we bar them from participating in women's sports. Should we allow them to participate in women's sports?
Well, I personally think we should.
Okay. But you do acknowledge the differences in physical strength between
Yes.
men and women?
I also acknowledge the difference in physical strength by person to person. Every single person has some kind of genetic disadvantage or advantage for different sports, and we have never cared before until it comes to being able to discriminate.
Right, but if it was the case, for example, that transgender women are leaps and bounds more physically, like just completely physically stronger, like you don't think if it was the case, let's say there was a massive representation of transgender women in sports. And I know, look, transgender people, small proportion of the
Yes.
population, so of course they're never going to be like a majority of women playing in women's sports. Wouldn't it be fair, or do you think it would be unfair if it happened to end up eventually being the case that transgender women took first, second, third place across all of women's sports? You don't think that wouldn't raise in your head like any sort of red flag as to like a completely unfair disadvantage?
Maybe it would, but that's not what's happening because estrogen does make, like estrogen supplements that trans women take does make them weaker.
So just to be clear, you think the only difference between males and females is the,
Testosterone.
No, it's the endocrine system. You think all it takes to become a woman is to make to do a chemical change to your endocrine system?
That is a big leap from what I said, and I did not make that claim.
Well, you said estrogen.
Well, estrogen does make trans women weaker. So as they are taking those supplements, it is not like a man competing against a woman. It is not the same
it's
thing.
still a male competing against a female, but so you think that there's no verifiable differences in strength?
I did not say that either. We're jumping to extremes.
Well, you're referencing estrogen.
Yes.
So okay, then it is your position that trans women still maintain male strength, I guess.
To some extent. My argument here is do trans women have an advantage in certain sports? Keep in mind, strength is not always the only deciding
sports.
Not necessarily.
You do realize that men outcompete women in every single sport there is. The only one, there's, I believe, one specific long distance event where
The skiing
women,
one?
Huh?
The skiing one where they look kind of silly? Is that what we're talking about?
No, there's a long distance running event where women just slightly will out-edge men. So women apparently have like some advantage in one specific event. If you look at all Olympic events, you look at, fighting, she's a boxer, for example, women just can't compete with men.
So on that note, I would like to say there are gymnastic skills that men can't even compete in, that they don't compete in the Olympics. There are gymnastic skills that women don't even compete in because they are tailored to their strengths. So, I mean, like, to say that a trans woman would dominate in women's gymnastics is absurd. They would not. They would have a huge disadvantage.
Sure. I'm going to go ahead and grant that there are like certain gymnastics things that like women do, men do. For example, I don't know what the move is. I don't know if anybody's familiar with gymnastics, like the one where men do the cross. Or
there are things all across the board.
Or whatever. Like women just don't have the physical capacity, even like trained gymnasts, to do like certain upper body maneuvers that male gymnasts can do. So, but I'll go ahead and grant that, yes. How about like the other 99% of athletic endeavors where men completely would dominate women if they were to compete together.
Okay, I'd like to pose a question. Could I ask?
No. Answer my question first, then pose your question.
Okay, my response to that is every single individual has different genetic advantages and disadvantages, some more extreme than others. It has never been in conversation before. It has never been a question of who naturally has the biggest lung capacity in swimming, because we can't measure things like that, and it's
Yes,
not.
we can.
Well, okay, sure, we
Men
can.
have
Yes, that's
more
actually a great
lung-
point. Okay, we can. No, I mean individual to individual. Can we determine Michael Phelps's lung capacity compared to a different Olympian, and then claim whether or not he was born with an advantage or not? Those things have never mattered before. We've never posed those questions because we understand that humans are biologically always going to be different and have different strengths and weaknesses. It only becomes a problem when people don't want transgender people competing.
But men are physically stronger than women, and men have certain physiological characteristics that make them better athletes.
Sure, and certain men are able to gain muscle easier because of their genetics than other men.
Yes, some men have, but my argument would be when you're looking at elite athletes, the best male athletes will always predominate over the best female athletes. Like, you have a woman who used to play in the WNBA. If LeBron James played in the WNBA, he could probably fucking play solo against the WNBA and fucking smoke him.
Yeah, this is the question I would actually like to pose. In the WNBA, I'm assuming that you are competing with women who weren't all your exact height. Can we
Yes.
make that assumption?
Yeah.
Do you know, like, generally the lower end of that scale?
This is
Give me a
irrelevant.
guess. It's okay.
This is irrelevant, but probably like 5'6" to 6'8".
If you were to do a 1v1 match with a 5'6" woman, do you think that you would have a genetic advantage?
Maybe, maybe not in some ways,
Okay.
because she probably would be quicker in some ways.
Wait.
But that is not. She's going to be quicker in some ways, but that's not the question. The question is, I'm a 6'6" female, right? I have been the best of the best at every level since high school. Mm-hmm. When I was the best of the best in high school, what did I do?